Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As you guys can see, we're in the shop today, and today's gonna be a little bit of a shop update, car update, and whatnot. And as you guys can see from this pile of parts right here, we've got some parts that we need to send off to the powder coater. If you guys can see behind me, the SS and the Corvette both have their hoods up. Over here, you guys can see on the SS, we're missing a whole bunch of pieces from the throttle body forward. And what that is the intake tube, all the couplers and everything going down into this fender. And over here on the Corvette, you guys can see our coolant tank is missing. So we've got a bunch of parts off to the powder coater. I just got a call, and finally, after, I don't think it's been quite 2 weeks. It's been maybe like 10 days instead of 14, but it's been quite almost 2 weeks. And the parts are done. So we're gonna go pick those up. And yes, I did want to show you guys the Corvette is almost back together. You guys should have seen the video where we got the compression back. And one last thing before we take off. Yes, the big stainless steel toolbox is gone. I did sell that this past weekend. I had it on Facebook Marketplace for not even a week. And guys, I got 50 to 60 people bothering me about that. Finally, the first guy with cash showed up. He drove from South Carolina like 2 hours. Finally, we met up. He came, picked up the toolbox, and it is no more. So finally, I have some breathing room in here because we are missing that giant toolbox. So, all right, guys, the place that we're going to is called Moroso Powder Coating in Denver. We're less than a quarter mile away from there. And yeah, so this place is literally, I think it's 8 minutes from my house. And I already know how much it's going to cost. Basically, we took them 4 pieces. Each piece cost $40 to sandblast and then powder coat. I don't know if you took a virgin aluminum piece that had no coating on it. I don't know if that would be any cheaper, but that's what their going rate was for. Basically, I had paint on each one of those pieces. And so actually powder coat too. So, and that might be something to consider. But the other place I went to in the past, they were up in Mooresville, so it was an hour drive each way. And that's another thing to consider is time, money, and whatnot. So, yeah, you guys can see this right here. It says Moroso. They've got a powder-coated wheel on their little sign. As you just saw in the panning shot, we do have all of the parts and pieces back from the powder coater. And I'll be honest, guys, I'm not exactly happy with that. As I mentioned on the drive home, I thought I saw some fish eyes in it. And honestly, guys, there are fish eyes in every single one of these parts. There's one here. There's some here. There's some in the big tube. So here. They're in the tank as well. You guys can see a bunch right there. And yeah, so I know what I'm not going to be doing. I will not be going back to that company that was local. They had good reviews on Facebook and whatnot, and even on Google, but now, should I take these back, have them redo it? I probably should, but I actually talked to a friend of mine that is a powder coater. He lives out in Wisconsin or Illinois, somewhere out there, but so there's nowhere near here, unfortunately, and he basically said that they either put too much powder in it or there was oil in the lines or on the piece that they did. And if you guys look, they did spray the inside of the powder coated pieces. You know, this has been bead blasted or sand blasted. So I know that they prepped it a little bit, but this place, I guess they don't do a lot of automotive stuff. I saw a lot of like industrial, like outdoor furniture, fencing and stuff like that. So maybe they don't concentrate on car parts. I saw some car parts, some motorcycle parts, but yeah, for what I paid and the job result that I got back, the previous guy that I went to did a better job. So, lesson learned there. You know, follow your word of mouth. Don't use online recommendations because I would not recommend this place. So, yeah. As for taking the parts back, guys, it took me almost 2 weeks to get these parts done. I'm not waiting another 2 weeks to finish the Corvette and get the SS back together. Plus, that doesn't really fit in our timelines with the SS. I'll let you know that in a little bit. And I want to get the Corvette back up and running, and I need to put that tank back in there. And so, yeah, like I said, I know where I will not be going back, and maybe it was worth the hour drive to the old place versus the 10-minute drive for this new place. So I got the SS put back together. I got the intake put on here. We got the powder-coated pipes, everything back in. I ended up putting a new seal here on this blockout plate that we put in years ago. I think the other one fell off, or I don't know exactly what happened, but that should work a lot better this time. I have it fully tucked in, clipped in against the plastic panel here from Improved Racing. And yeah, so this is the SS all cleaned up. And you know how the saying goes, you really only clean up things and kind of do last minute projects when you intend on getting rid of something. Well, as you guys have seen this year, we've already gotten rid of toolboxes, other stuff, other projects. Well, it's time for the SS to go. And the reason is because I honestly simply don't drive it. I've had this car for just about 10 years, and it is now time to change the oil in it, detail it, and list it for sale. So I think what I'm going to be doing is actually putting the SS up on Bring a Trailer. I actually reached out to them a few years ago, and the process was fairly easy. All you need is pictures, picture your title and whatnot. And yeah, the reason I didn't list it a couple years ago is because I was actually still in my job transition. I was laid off. I was kind of, not knowing if I was going to need an extra piggy bank. So I ended up not needing that, and I didn't need to sell it. And so I decided to hold on to it for a couple more years. And then the other thing was we were $5,000 apart on the minimum asking price. So maybe it's been a couple years, maybe the market has corrected itself a little bit, but yeah, so I have a number in mind for what I want for it, and if we're nowhere near, then you may not see this on Bring a Trailer pretty soon. So like I said, I got to get this fully detailed. I'm gonna do it myself, detail it, change the oil, and get it ready for sale. And so yeah, if the Bring a Trailer ad hasn't been posted and we haven't sold it just yet, I am entertaining offers. I will work with private party, but like I said, I've got a number in mind. But yeah, if you guys happen to be interested in a low mileage Chevy SS, it's 2014, fully LSA supercharged, with LSA blower, stock pulley, stock lower, intake, headers, Corsa catback, and CTSV brakes and wheels. And it is low mileage, and it only has 21,000 miles on it. Oh, and I do have a ZL1 torque converter in it as well. So if you guys do want this car, you would be able to launch it at the drag strip and not have issues with the stock torque converter that came in the SS, because those wouldn't hold boost. And so yeah, if you guys are interested, my email is in the video description. It is in every video description. Just send me an email there. And yeah, so I was going to put the tank on the Corvette, but I actually want to put that in last because I still need to put the driver's side header in, put the V-band clamp on for that 2-inch exhaust, and then you had to put the spark plugs and all that. And I actually scratched it with the fuel line. Yeah, and then the last step before you put that tank in is put the fuel lines in. And I actually scratched it previously. I think it was either with the brake booster or the fuel line, one of those two. So that tank had a nasty gash down the middle of it. And so yeah, this video's kind of been all over the place with the SS, the Corvette, powder coating and whatnot, and the trials and tribulations of trying out a new place. But hey, you know what? It is what it is. And I'll be honest, guys, the intake doesn't look bad. It looks a hell of a lot better than it did, because I had previously scraped it on this, I believe this is from Veraram, this engine cover from Veraram. I put a nasty scrape down this pipe. And so that's the only reason we ended up trying a new powder coater, was because I had damaged this like 2 or 3 years ago, and I just never got around to fixing it. So yeah, that is going to be it for the video. If you guys liked it, hit that like button. If you guys want to see more updates on the Corvette, we do have to get the bigger injectors. We do have to get it re-dyno-tuned because, we still want to use E85 on that car. Hit that subscribe button, turn on your bell notifications. If you guys want to help support the channel, check out all the links down below. Not really going to recommend the powder coater I used, but, all the parts and stuff that we used, we'll have those links down below. And also make sure you check our website, BonecrrusherSS.com. That's going to be it. Thanks, guys. Have a great one.